Listen, here's something you need to know. 3 billion people are scrolling through social media right now. And your caption, that thing that catches their attention, it's not just some text you throw under a photo or below a picture. It's your one shot, your make or break moment to grab attention, spark real engagement, and turn those casual browsers into loyal followers who actually care about what you're doing. Think about this for a second. Users spend only a few seconds deciding whether to engage with your content. That's it, a handful of seconds. So if you want to stand out in 2025, you've got to master the art of caption writing. It's become the ultimate competitive advantage, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So what's the psychology that powers viral captions? Here's the thing. Understanding what makes people stop scrolling isn't some magic universal trick. It's proven psychology. Research from the University of Pennsylvania shows us something fascinating. Content that triggers strong emotions like awe or anger gets shared way more than contents that just make people feel calm. Makes sense, I suppose. The stronger the emotional response you can create, the higher your engagement will be. So what are the core psychological triggers that drive success with captions? Let me break down the 3 big ones for you. First of all, emotional resonance. Pretty fancy words, isn't it? When you create content that evokes powerful feelings, you're creating memorable experience that people actually want to share. Jonah Berger, the guy that wrote Contagious, Why Things Catch On, identifies emotion as the primary driver of viral content success. That makes sense when you really think about it. The second one is identity expression. Here's what's really happening when people share your content. They're essentially saying, this represents me. Your caption becomes a digital identity badge that your followers proudly display to their own networks. They're not just sharing information, they're sharing themselves. And lastly, social currency. People share content that makes them look knowledgeable, connected, or trendy. Does this sound familiar? Your caption should provide real value that followers want to pass along to maintain their social status. Give them something worth sharing that makes them look good. So what are the 9 essential elements of every compelling caption? Based on comprehensive 2024 research, successful captions consistently include these essential components. I've studied what works and done a lot of courses about it, and here's what you need to know. The first thing is the hook. That is the first 125 characters. You've got exactly 3 seconds to capture attention before users scroll past. 3 seconds. Your opening line has to work harder than any other sentence you'll ever write. Why? Because places like Instagram truncates captions after 125 characters in the feed view. So people won't see everything you write, they'll only see a little bit. If you want some examples of what works, try these. Stop. Read this before you. What if I told you? Did you know that? Win $1,000. Guess the correct answer. The money one always works. These aren't random. These are battle tested on many posts. Okay, so you've captured their attention. What now? You now need to deliver substantial value. You've got their eyes, now deliver something to them that they can use or agree with. Share actionable insights, entertaining stories, or solutions that make the read worthwhile. Research shows that captions between 65 and 75 words, so roughly 400 characters, generate the highest engagement. Not too long and not too short, just right. Bit like 3 Bears porridge, isn't it? So you need to add strategic calls to action at the end. Here's something I've learned. Modern successful captions use dual-purpose CTAs that blend engagement with conversion goals. The most effective approach combines both of these elements. First of all, there's the engagement CTAs. Tag someone who needs this. Share your thoughts below. And conversion CTAs. Link in the bio to learn more. DM me for more details. So you can see there's engagement, get people to do something, or get people to take action and step through to your buying process. You're not just asking for one thing, you're creating multiple opportunities for people to engage. Now, hashtags are a big part of posting, so we need to optimize those. If you want to boost engagement by 12.6%, use Instagram's full 30 hashtag limit strategically. Group hashtags by relevance and include trending tags when that makes sense. Don't just throw random hashtags at the wall and hope that something sticks. You need to be deliberate. You also need mobile-first formatting. This is crucial. The majority of social media consumption happens on mobile devices. So format for easy scanning and reading. Use short sentences, keep the paragraphs to 2 to 3 lines max, add strategic line breaks, use emojis as visual separators, and think about how people read on their phones. If I think about how I read my feed, more often than not, I'm actually watching videos these days, or reels, and not reading the captions unless it really captures my attention. I'm actually learning from the video more than I'm reading anything. So it's crucial that if people take time to read, that they do take action that you want. I want to share 4 formulas that consistently drive engagement and conversions. These aren't theories, these are proven approaches based on established copywriting techniques. So PAS is the first one. You'll know this one for sure. Problem, agitate, solution. Here's how it works. You identify the pain point, you intensify the frustration. Now that's the key thing, frustration, and then you present your solution. Let me give you an example. Are you tired of showing up on Instagram every single day to get results? Whether you're making bank or wondering whether these posts will finally pay off, here's the truth. You need to constantly create content to see any success on Instagram. And that kind of sucks. Enter Pinterest. See how that works? It meets people where they are, amplifies what they're feeling, and then offers a way out. Attention, interest, desire, and action. This is a classic for a reason. Structure it like this. You've got a hook, you build curiosity, you create longing, and then you drive action. Here's how you apply it. Attention. Here's how I know you're using AI tools. Interest. These 2 words make your content seem robotic. Desire. I know that you want to create better content faster. Action. Follow me for more conversion tips. Each step pulls them deeper and deeper into your message. Next, we have the before-after bridge. The structure is current situation, transformation, and the method. This formula works exceptionally well for transformational content and success stories. In other words, this person was doing this thing, they weren't having much success. Then this happened, and here's where they're at now. This is a typical before and after sort of scenario. We've all seen it before. People love seeing the journey from where they are to where they want to be. Next formula is the PPPP. Picture, promise, prove, and push. Okay, don't forget, if you can't remember all these, check below. I'll have a link to a transcript with a summary of everything that I've covered in this. So the structure is paint the scene. In other words, paint a picture of what's happening, promise results, provide proof, and then push them to take action. This formula leverages social proof and vivid imagery to drive conversions. You're creating a complete story that moves people to action. So there's lots of platforms. What are some of the platform-specific caption strategies that you might want to use? Not all platforms are created equal, nor are they anyway similar or the same. What works on Instagram won't necessarily work on LinkedIn. So let me break down some specific strategies for each platform. Instagram, optimal length, 65 to 75 words, around 400 characters for peak engagement. Hashtag strategy, use all 30 hashtags strategically. And stories integration, leverage read more to add details after your hook. LinkedIn, professional tone with authentic personal touches. Longer form content performs well, say 1,300 plus characters. And industry insights and thought leadership drive engagement. So this needs to be much more deeply thought about than just fluffy, quick things that you'd find like on Instagram where people are moving quickly. TikTok, ultra short hooks. The first 5 words are absolutely crucial. Use trending phrases and viral formats. Remember, TikTok has a whole pile of viral formats and they change regularly, like as in daily. And use relatable humor because that drives massive sharing. And Twitter, or X as it's known, concise wit within the character constraints. There's a limit to how many characters you can use. There's a thread potential for complex topics and real-time relevance to trending conversations or topics. For example, people looking for the latest information about something that's happening right now. So newsjacking might be something that works really well for you on this platform. Hooks are a big part of getting your captions working. Let's have a look at 15 high converting hooks that you can use straight away. Based on the current research, these hooks consistently stop people scrolling. And remember, they can be verbal hooks that don't have to be written. Yes, you write them down to record them. And yes, they can be written in the captions, but also if you're creating reels, which are really popular, then you need to look at using these hooks as the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Number one, what if, or do you ever wonder? Flash sale. We're finally ready to reveal. Fun fact, did you know? Before and after. This simple hack helped me. X ways or steps to get to a desired result. Caption this. This gets people involved. How do we go from to let's talk about this is why we don't? Imagine you could. I know can be challenging. Here's what I wish I knew. Here's why isn't working. These templates work because they connect with how people actually think and feel. Give some a go. They're really worth trying and they're not hard. Yes, it'll feel a bit odd at first, but you're trying to be strategic here. You're not just trying to say the first thing that comes out of your mouth. So what are some of the current trends that are reshaping the caption writing world? The landscape is always changing fast in this area, but here's what you need to know about what's happening right now. Number one, we've got AI integration. Here's a stat that might surprise you. 75% of social media marketers plan to use AI for content creation in 2026. But here's what I've learned. The most successful approach combines AI efficiency with human authenticity. Use AI for ideation and structure, totally. But infuse your unique voice and experiences. Don't become a robot. Number two, emoji strategies. Strategic emoji placement softens your hard sales pitches, increases visual appeal. Place emojis to hook beginnings and CTA endings for maximum impact. They're not just decoration, they're strategic tools to capture people's eyes and make sure they notice something that you've written. Cultural moment alignment. We're talking about keeping up to date with trends. Connect your content to trending topics, season relevance, and cultural conversations. Timing research shows that content aligning with what people are already thinking about spreads more rapidly. You're catching the wave that's already moving. Think about that. If it's coming up to Christmas, people are thinking about Christmas. If it's coming up to Thanksgiving, they're thinking about Thanksgiving and all the good and the bad that that brings. It depends on many, many factors, but look at that alignment. You can go the other way. Elections, what's happening in business, end of financial year. Think about those. Authenticity premium. As AI-generated content becomes commonplace, distinctly human voices and genuine experiences will command premium attention. People will be looking for that real-world connection, not just some stuff spat out by AI. Yes, AI spits out great stuff, but it doesn't necessarily connect properly with people. Give your unfiltered perspective on things. This is where you will stand out. You want to take your captions to the next level? Let me run through some techniques that works. First of all, the conversion catalyst method. Transform your captions into conversation starters by asking specific questions that require detailed response. In other words, not just short answer questions. Share respectful, controversial opinions that invite discussions. Obviously, if you take sides of the fence, you're going to get more conversation than if you sit in the middle. Use fill-in-the-blank formats to make commenting effortless. In other words, get people to say what their favorite thing is or my worst experience is. And create this or that scenarios. Do you like this or do you like that to get that engagement, those conversations happening? Remember, it's not just broadcasting. You're really looking to start conversations. You're not a TV station. When TV comes on, we watch it. It's one way. Yes, I yell at the TV sometimes. I'm sure we all do, probably more than most. But anyway, the fact of the matter is we want conversation. That is what will drive our businesses and our connection with the people we're talking to. Secondly, social proof integration. Weave credibility throughout your captions by opening with testimonials. My client called this a game changer. Great way to say that you take on clients and that you get results. You can include specific metrics. After 30 days, engagement increased by 127%. Okay, 30 days is a time frame. 127% is a great increase. Now, 127% can be, they had one visitor, now they got 2 visitors, almost 3. It doesn't have to be big to get great numbers or to make it sound good. Sometimes an increase of 10% will make a massive difference to a business. So it doesn't have to be big numbers, just has to be increases or improvements. People trust proof more than just your word. They're looking for that proof at all times. And use a multi-layered CTA strategy. Create multiple engagement opportunities in every caption, every time you type. First of all, you got your primary CTA. That's your main desired action. In other words, a link, a click, or a purchase. Engagement CTAs, comments, shares, and tags. So tagging friends. And follow-up CTAs. Follow me for daily tips like this. So you've got that 3 levels coming through in every caption. Again, these are formats. What I suggest is you write it out in a way that you can follow so that you just naturally do it, or you teach your AI to do it. It's up to you. But people are looking for that human authenticity. They're looking for that real connection. Give people different ways to engage with you based on where they are in their journey with you. Some people will be ready to buy. Some people have just discovered you. You need to make sure you get them to take an action, no matter where they are in that time frame. Well, it wouldn't be good talking about CTAs and captions if we didn't look at some of the critical mistakes that people make that kill engagement. And we're all guilty of these things, so listen closely. First of all, the generic language trap. Avoid overused phrases like living my best life or blessed. Forbes research emphasizes that authenticity significantly outperforms cliches. You sound like everyone else when you use these phrases. Stand out instead. Get your own phrases. I have my Bradisms, things that I say. You have yours. The oversell problem. Balance your promotional content with value using the 80-20 rule. So 80% valuable content, 20% direct promotion. Nobody wants to follow continuous walking advertisement. Give value first. Formatting failures. Walls of text destroy engagement, especially on platforms where people expect to see short chunks of text. Okay, LinkedIn, a little different, but on Instagram, you are looking for those short chunks. Always format for mobile scanning with clear paragraph breaks and visual layout so that people can read it easy. Make it easy for people to read and digest your message. You want people to take your whole message in at a glance. It's not easy. This will take practice, but you can do it. Hashtag misuse. While Instagram allows 30 hashtags, research indicates that fewer highly targeted hashtags can often outperform maximum usage for established accounts. Quality over quantity matters here. So what are some tools and technologies you can use to transform your caption creation? The right tools could make your life a lot easier. So here's what's available. First of all, you got AI-assisted writing. So there's a range of tools that can provide starting points, but human refinement remains really essential for that authentic voice and cultural relevance to the people you're talking to. Think of AI as an assistant, not a replacement. Performance analysis. Monitor which caption styles, which lengths, and which CTAs drive the highest engagement for your specific audience. Platform native analytics and third-party tools can show you really crucial information that you can read. Make sure you go in and look at your data. Don't just send it, okay? Go back and review it. You can't improve what you don't measure. First rule of business. Content planning systems. You can batch create captions using proven templates and formula, but personalize each one for specific posts and times in the year. Work smarter, but not harder. Let's look at a plan for a 30-day caption mastery action. Here's your step-by-step plan to master caption writing in the next month. Week 1, audit your last 20 caption, identify which hooks, lengths, and CTAs generated the most engagement. You need to know your baseline. Week 2, create a bank of 50 customized hook templates that you can use using the formulas that I've covered in this video. Adapt them to your brand voice. Make them your own. Week 3, test one new formula daily. Track the performance metrics and the audience response. See what actually happens. This is where your learning will start to begin. And week 4, develop your signature style by combining your best performing elements into a repeatable system. Note that, repeatable system. This is what you're looking for. Something you don't need to think about because you become so good at it, it just happens naturally. You're creating your own playbook that you can follow to success. And everybody has their own way on this path. Finally, stay connected to the things that are happening around you, whether it be in the news, culturally, or just in your life. Look at trending topics and check the platform algorithms to keep up to date with things that can affect caption performance. This is an ongoing sort of journey, so things are going to change. Nothing stays the same for very long. So here's what I want you to understand. Writing unforgettable captions isn't about perfection. It's about authentic connection. Every exceptional caption begins with understanding the audience you're trying to talk to. It continues with psychology mixed in there, and it ends up with genuine value delivery, meaning you give them something that they can use, that they can learn from, that they need to hear. The brands and creators who master this balance don't just collect likes and comments. They build thriving communities. They drive meaningful conversions, and they form lasting relationships with their audience. And that is a key thing if you want to succeed online. Your caption isn't merely text that accompanies a visual. It's your direct line to their hearts and their minds. The world rewards those who combine strategic thinking with authentic storytelling. You can do this. Start implementing these research-backed strategies today and transform your social media presence from forgettable to unforgettable. Ready to revolutionize your social impact? Here's what I want you to do. Straight away, pick one formula from this video or download the summary below and test it this week. Watch your engagement transform. The difference between scrolling past and stopping to engage often comes down to those crucial first 5 words. Make them count. You've got this. So now go and make it happen.